Special features. Most of the work that this exercise will be covering are everything in the font group. So each line is actually an instruction. So I'm going to hover over to the left-hand side, the selection area where the arrow is, point and click. So right now it's all in uppercase, and I would like it to be lowercase. So up here you have change case, and I'll select lowercase. The next one I'll select, and it should be all uppercase. Change case, uppercase. And the next line, select. This one is capitalize each word. So we've used lowercase, uppercase, and then capitalize each word. The sentence case would capitalize just the first word of a sentence, and toggle reverses the opposite of each. So we'll go capitalize each word. The next one is small caps preview. And what that does is, I know that right now the capital S is capitalized, the C and the P, but it's going to change everything to all caps, but the S, the C, and the P will be just a little bit larger. So click and select. Now that option is not visible in the font group in the ribbon, so you need to go to what's considered the dialog box launcher. And here you see most of the things that are located in here are over here in the font group. But there's a few that are not. So right now this is what we see, small caps preview, and I'm going to check small caps. So it puts everything in caps, but the S, the C, and the P are a little bit larger. And then OK. Change font color, and you may select any color you'd like. Bold. You can use it here in the MIDI toolbar, or you can come up here in the font group. Italic. Next one, select. Underline. Now there is no down arrow here next to the U, but up in the font group there is. So this is the default, which is a plain underline. And then if you select the next line, you can click the more options, and there are different styles of underline, and you could change the color of the underline, but I'm going to go to more underline, and this is back to that same dialog box launcher. This is the font color, but this is the underline. What type of underline would you like to select? What color would you like the underline? And notice here's the preview. So you get a preview of the type of underline and the color. And OK. This one, it's really not 42, it should be 4 to the power of 2, 4 squared. So select just the 2, and in the font group, select Superscript. So it's a raised 2. And then for the periodic code for H2O, for water is H2O, and the 2 should be subscript. Strikethrough, probably the only time I've ever seen this or heard of it is in court cases where the judge may say strike that's been stricken from the record. So it actually still has to be visible in the court documents, but there'll be a line through it, meaning it's been stricken from record. So right in the font group, there's actually a strikethrough. That's a single line strikethrough. There is a double, but it's not here, so we'd have to go into the dialog box launcher, and there is double strikethrough, and it gives you the double line in the preview. This one is to highlight like you would in a textbook highlight. The default color is yellow highlight, so you click that. Then the next one, pick another color. The down arrow gives you more options, and pick a different color. This one right now I have it on bold, italic, underline, and of course I chose purple. But to clear, and the font is Times New Roman 20, when I select this and clear all formatting, which would be up here, clear formatting, it'll put it back to Calibri 11. And there's no bold, underline, italic, nothing. All right, this one, shade text, a little different from the highlighting. Highlighting, you're only allowed so many colors. The shade text, and I want you to select it, but don't take that extra space after the T, just go to the T. And we're going to go to shading, and you have much more choices for colors, and you see that I chose pink recently, but you can go to more colors and pick anything you'd like for colors. and then click OK. Now this time I'm going to select this line. Notice I'm letting it select the blank space after it, and when I choose the shading, and I can just click here, it'll repeat the color I just chose. I can double check by clicking it. So the difference between selecting up to the T or the whole line, it'll shade the whole from one margin to the next, and you could center that as well. So right here I have Springfield with just a capital S and then an all uppercase Springfield. And I have the same error in both. The letter G is missing, but only the capitalized word Springfield is showing as a misspelling. It is not showing in the all caps. So the default setting is to not look for spelling errors in all uppercase words, because most uppercase words, for example, STCC, is an acronym, so it's going to be not spelled correctly because it's just an acronym. So if you wanted your document to look for capitalized words to see if there's any spelling errors, you would have to, you don't have to select it, you would go to File, all the way down at the bottom, Options, and click Proofing, and right now it's set to ignore spelling errors in uppercase. So I'm going to uncheck it and then click OK. So now they both have the red underline, and if I fix both of them, then they're both correct. So the default setting is not to look, and you can change that if you like, or you can and go back and uncheck it. It's up to you. So text effects, when you select it, up here in the font group, it looks like a stenciled A, and you can select any style you like. And if I choose this one, I can always go back in and change the color of it. And then if I want to go back here, I can choose an outline color, so maybe red. So it's red and purple. Maybe change the color so it's more visible. And also in the text effects, once you select an effect, you can add a shadowy effect to it. It's hard to see, but there's a shadow effect. There's also reflection and a glow. So that's on text effects. Wordart is similar, but there's more options to choose from, which is really exciting. It's in the Insert tab, and this is Wordart. It looks like it's very similar, but you'll see that there's a lot more choices, and you'll even get a whole new ribbon dedicated to Wordart. So up here is to change the text fill. So I want the fill blue and the outline dark blue. I can make it bigger too. And it has the same shadow effect, reflection, glow. This one's pretty cool, like a beveled look. And then also there's a 3D rotation, and you get that live preview to see what it looks like. But my most favorite is transform, and you get a live preview of what they look like when you hover over them. And you can choose anything you'd like. That's in Wordart, transform. Pretty cool. The next one, Thesaurus. So let's say you use the word improve too many times. So I'll double click it and choose Review and click Thesaurus. It opens up on the right hand side, and it's looking up the word improve because that's what you had selected. And these are other words that have the same meaning. So maybe instead of improve, you want develop. So don't click develop because it's going to look up that word develop. What you would do is hover to the arrow and choose insert. Now with this open, you don't have to have a word selected, but let's say you've said excellent way too many times, so you want to look up what else could you say in place of excellent. And you can look up more words. How about, ooh, I like brilliant, and then there's more words about brilliant. So you can use this as your guide. How about good? So other ways that you can use the words. And they also break it down into different grammar, whether it's adjective, noun, or verb. Special characters. If you click insert, and over in the far left, I'll close this, symbols, There's some symbols that I've used recently, but if you go into more symbols and then choose special characters, you can get the copyright, insert, registered trademark, maybe you want to see that paragraph symbol. Then if you go back to special characters, certain names will have accents on them, so you can select, this would be on my first name, has an accent on it. There's other special tildes over the letter A, so you can get very specific over certain letters for people's names. And then if you really want to get into something interesting, there's a thing called webdings. And there's all kinds of pictures in here that you could add. You can even change the color of these that you pick and make them larger too. So I can make this a lot larger, change the color of it, and you could use those webdings as bullets too. So ordinal numbers, if you type 1 ST, notice the size of ST. When I press spacebar, it makes it superscript. Even for second, you just have to hit the spacebar, otherwise it won't do it. Fourth, and so forth. So that's a pretty cool feature. Days of the week and months of the year. So if I were to type Tuesday, and I did it in lowercase, when I get to the fourth letter, it comes up. Do you want Tuesday spelled out with capital? Just press enter. Same thing with Friday. When you get to the fourth letter, enter. Same thing with the months of the year. So lowercase, January, get to the fourth letter, enter. February, there you go, fourth letter. It just won't do the smaller months. So for example, if I type June, it's not, I have to type it all out. But when I press spacebar, it will capitalize it for me. Same thing with July. But it won't do it for May, because May could be like, may I come over? So May doesn't capitalize. So one more thing. Let's say you every time you typed STCC, when you press spacebar, it spells out Springfield Technical Community College for you. Or I have mine set already. My initials, if I type RG, I press spacebar, and I want it to be my name, not RG, RT. That one I guess I didn't do. So I'm going to set both of these. So to do that, so every time you type STCC, it spells it all out for you. So to create that, it's in File, Options, Proofing, under Autocorrect Options, and if I were to type ST, it should show me where I have it. I already created it, STCC, there it is. So I'm going to do my initials, RT. So every time I type RT, what will appear is my entire name. And then click Add, and it puts it alphabetically. So this is an example. If you spell review incorrectly, VEI, it'll spell it this way correctly. So these are samples of what they do. And you can add to them, you can delete, you can do whatever you like. So how about I make another one, CC, and that would be for community college. And I'll add that. And then okay, okay. So now I'm in here, STCC, we already know that works. RT, there's my name, CC, and there's community college. If you typed STCC, and I typed it in all caps and I pressed spacebar, if I actually wanted it to remain STCC, undo would put it back to the acronym. And that's a save and submit. Thank you.